Hey you, I'm Elle from the blog elleseesyou.blogspot.com. Normally I come on here and I talk to you about all things beauty, but today I want to get serious and talk a little bit about my life. My dad died 3 months ago, and when somebody dies that you love, that you're really close to, you know how you go through the holidays and you think about those firsts that you're going to have without that person, you know, the first Christmas, the first week, the first month. And one of them that's been on my mind lately is Father's Day. And to help me get through it, I thought I would talk about some things that I think your dad would want for Father's Day instead. So in addition to the silly socks, the ties, and maybe the grilling paraphernalia that your dad might be getting, here's some things I think he might really want. The first is a picture of the two of you. I was once asked to do a sponsor campaign for a brand for Father's Day, and one of the requirements was that I needed pictures of just me and my dad, and I didn't have any, and I was so embarrassed, and the brand was in disbelief. They're like, how can you not have pictures? I live 5 hours away and I don't see them that often, so when I do, it's usually a big family gathering, like a holiday or something, and it's always all of us. Maybe there's a picture with my sister on one side, my dad in the middle, me on the other side, but one of my biggest regrets is that I just don't have enough pictures of us. So do that. Get a picture of just you and your dad. You don't have to get all formal, dressed to the nines, with both of you looking slightly to the left, my left. It can be whatever reflects your personality, just something on your phone, you know, you two being silly, maybe you've got your arms around each other's shoulders. If your dad doesn't smile, that's okay. He's proud of you, and he would love to have this photo, and you will too. At his memorial service, I had all these people coming up to me telling me these stories, and it was just like I was in disbelief, because I was like, I don't feel like I don't know my dad at all. Like, who was this guy? And I wish I had talked to him more. Again, we were always together as a family, hanging out. I never really sat down with him and talked to him one-on-one and got his stories. And whenever we did talk, he was the one that always wanted to listen to you. So I wished I would have talked and asked more about him to find out his stories. I have a mountain of questions I'll never get to ask him. Ask your dad those questions. Get those stories out of him before it's too late, because you think you have a lot of time and you don't. That brings me to the third thing your dad wants: one-on-one time with your dad. I thought my parents would live forever, you know? I thought I would be really old and gray. Don't look at my roots. I thought my dad would be old and gray. He only had gray in his beard when he passed away. His hair was like jet black. I'm totally jealous. But I thought he would be old. I thought I would be old. I thought I'd have just time to just ask him anything and spend time together. And you don't. It just goes by so quickly. And in this case, unexpected. He had been given a diagnosis of cancer, and 1 week later he passed away, 2 hours after I went to sit by his bedside. And that was it. I was just like, wait, I don't have time. Where's my time? So take that time and spend it one-on-one with your dad, because, you know, when it comes to our moms, we go to them and ask them for the emotional help. And for our dads, we tend to treat them like a handyman a lot of times, because dads have all the answers and they help us out if we have a flat tire or something fixed around our house. But we don't ever spend that one-on-one time with them. And that's something I definitely regret not doing. So spend time, find something. You don't have to be, again, a big formal event and take him out to dinner. Just hang out. Just hang out. And if your dad's not a talker, that's okay. Just sit with him and watch TV, or whatever his favorite activity is, fishing. Just being there. Just let him know that he's important, that it's one-on-one time for just the two of you. Make amends. I know, if you can, if you have thought about it, just take that step towards making amends. My dad died from liver cancer due to his alcoholism. He did this to himself, and it's something that I have struggled with my whole life, because I always felt like if he loved us, he wouldn't drink. And it always put me at a little bit of a distance from him, you know, not able to, as much as I loved him, as much as he was such an awesome guy, there was always this dark cloud looming in the background. And I wish I would have been, that we would have more of a dialogue about that. And fortunate we didn't have a strained relationship, or anything like that. We were close, but I felt like we could have been closer if somebody had taken the first step to talk about it. And as much as I know that I loved him, he loved me, as much as I know he was proud of me, I just wish I could have gotten to some peace and understanding during his lifetime instead of having to search for it after. So I think those are some things that your dad might want for Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody that's a father out there, our father figures. I want to give a special shout out to my stepdad, who stepped in when I was a teenager, and he's been a part of my life ever since. I'm also fortunate to have my dad's brothers. They've all been a part of my life, and they remind me a lot of him, so that's kind of nice to have, you know, that love and support from all the father and just manly figures in my life. So happy Father's Day to you out there, and if you have your father, for me, just give him a hug. Tell him you love him.